You asked me about my novel Boundaries and its connection to my being a mediator and once having been a lawyer. Um,
Oh, once a lawyer, always a lawyer. It's like having a virus. There's still remnants of it in your blood system even after the disease is cured.
when I hear it all the time. I mean, I haven't practiced law since 1980, and people are still relating to me as an ex-lawyer. It's one, you know, when I went through mediation training, the trainer said you're not going to be a good mediator till you get rid of being a lawyer. So yeah, you're right. Um, the novel, by the way, I have another story that's called In the Middle. That's a long short story, and it kind of connects to my mediation life, even though I wrote it before I was a mediator. But the novel Boundaries, its genesis was a real case I had, a custody case when I was a legal services attorney representing poor people. And I had an out of state client, a woman whose husband had, ex husband had, who lived, and they lived on opposite ends of the country, had kept the 7 or 8 year old boy after a 1 week spring vacation and had promised his ex-wife, who was the client in this case, in this and in the story, um, that he would return the child after spring vacation. And she waited in Greensboro, North Carolina, for the plane that was to bring her son home, and he wasn't on it. And so, long distance, she hired an attorney in California to represent her, and so that case was what was on my mind to convert to a story. And at the same time, I had met completely independently of that, or actually at another time in my life later, I met a woman in a restaurant, and we hit it off pretty well, and we began a relationship. And that didn't last for all that long. It was a lovely relationship, but it wasn't like a life partner. And when I decided, I didn't decide to write a story called Boundaries, or that it was about boundaries. I I had that itch. I had two itches that I was scratching. One was that case. I was now a writer, or I was writing, and that case was scratching at me from the inside. Mm-hmm. And so was that relationship. So I alchemized those two women into one. So Boundaries arose out of an actual legal experience. And I could say more about the specific of it, but I'd be going on too long. The point was that my experience as a lawyer and my experience with this intimate problem and this dramatic problem of a child being taken away from parents or being split up and having to go through that was the origin of the story. And also, I had my own experience in divorce and custody, so it was on my mind from stuff that I'd experienced. I had been a school teacher of middle school kids, and I'd seen the same thing. Even as a lawyer, part of my legal career was representing kids that were dependent and neglected, children in need of supervision,